Hey guys, how's it going? Um, Today I just want to talk about, I guess it's a bit of a watch rant, right? And luxury watches in general. Are they worth it? You know, are luxury watches worth the amount of money we spend on them? I've got, I'd say three of my most iconic watches in my collection. I've got a Daytona, I've got a Calatrava, I've got a Reverso. You know, the Daytona probably costs about 10,000 US, 10,500 US. The Reverso maybe 6,500 US. The Calatrava I'd say about 17,000 US. It's a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money, and it's expensive. And is it worth it, right? Are they worth the money you spend, right, on these objects? What do they cost to make? I don't know. I mean, but I'm gonna guess. I'd say, 20% of what you pay for it, 20 or 30% maybe. And are they worth it? It is a lot of money. And what are you paying for in a luxury watch? And it's quite simple, really. In this day and age, everything is about branding, everything is about marketing. The Swiss watch companies, right? What they sell is, of course, a really well-made product, but it's essentially you are buying into an image, right? You are buying an attitude. You're buying feelings. You're buying emotions. And sometimes these emotions can be irrational, right? And when you're irrational, sometimes money is not the primary concern. You're paying for emotions, you're paying for feelings, you're paying for an attitude that you're projecting to other people. And is that worth it to you, right? It seems very superficial, but at the same time, I feel that it's worth it in this day and age, right? Where everything is just, and anything you buy, right, is so disposable. We are a society where we're kind of addicted to novelty, new things, new worthless junk, right? Everything is made in China, or your clothes are made in China, or your furniture is made in China. Everything is made in China with the exception of Swiss watches, the high-end Swiss watches. This goes for high-end luxury goods in general, right? Like your Louis Vuitton, Cartier, Chanel, all these really high-end products, right? You are buying into an image. You're buying into the company's values, and I guess there is a level of pretense to it, right? Some might call it pretentious, and it is. That's just how it is, right? Everyone has different values. It all comes down to values, and I think high-end Swiss watches. It's something which I value very much, something I appreciate very much. It makes me happy, it makes me feel good to own these pieces. However long it may be, it makes me feel good to have this on my wrist. And sometimes it can be irrational, right? And that's why, I think in this day and age, everything is all about branding. Everything is all about creating an image, because I think that's one of the only ways that, here in the Western world, that you can kind of survive and make a business out of, right? I mean, you can't compete with the Asians when it comes to manufacturing, right? You can't here in the Western world, you can't make a screw cheaper than they can in China, or let's say your cables or your electronics or IKEA furniture, paper, everything is right. Anything that doesn't have an image to it or doesn't make you feel emotional about, you can't compete with the Asian or third world developing countries when it comes to manufacturing, right? Wages are way lower, costs are way lower to produce those products, and therefore here in the first world, you know, whether you live in North America, Europe, parts of Asia, right? It's really all about branding, marketing, and image, right? Which is, in a way, can be kind of sad, but that's how business has developed, you know. And let's take cars for example, right? Toyotas, Hondas, right? These are cars which are very well built, right? They will last a lot longer than a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce or a Jaguar. You'll definitely have less maintenance, and even if you do have to maintain the car, it's going to cost way less to fix something, right? Should there be problems. But then nobody dreams to drive a Toyota. Nobody aspires to drive a Honda. Nobody, you know, nobody. You just don't dream about these things, right? You dream about driving a Ferrari. You dream about driving a Lamborghini, a Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, Rolls Royce. Right, these are cars that people dream about driving because, you know, it's when you step into one of those cars, it's like you're stepping into a world, right? They are selling you a world where when you're behind the driver's seat, you enter the world of BMW, you enter the world of, you know, whatever luxury car you're driving, and that's what it's really all about, right? Going back to watches, let's take Seiko for example, right? Seiko, they make great watches. It works, low maintenance, even aesthetics. They're all right. They're pretty good, right? Quality, finish. They're up there with Rolex. But would I buy one? No, I wouldn't, right? Because, you know, especially this day and age, there's really no need to tell the time, right? You can just tell the time with your cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone, you know. You can buy a Timex, right? If I'm gonna buy a Seiko, I'd rather just buy a Timex or a G-Shock, you know, if I don't really care about watches. But if I'm gonna wear a watch, especially in this day and age, you know, it better be something damn nice, something damn good, right? Omega and up, right? Don't mean to be a snob, but I guess I am, you know. I guess it's come to a point where you either go big or go home, right? If you're into watches, buy something nice, right? If you're not, just buy a Timex. Don't waste your time on a Seiko or a Grand Seiko, right? If you're into watches, you know, just go big or go home, you know. It's either really low end Seiko, Timex, or Rolex, Omega, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Patek Philippe, Lange, you know. There's I don't think there's any room for in between, right? Middle of the range kind of watches. But that's how the West is like, right? Western people, white people, they're very extreme, right? I'm just talking from an Asian person's point of view. I don't mean to be derogatory or anything. It's not, right? I find that white people, they're very extreme people, right? They're either really, really good, or they can be really, really bad. They can be really creative, very inspirational leaders, but they can be also very destructive and very repugnant, obnoxious. It's very hard to find a median when it comes to white culture. There are a lot of white people who I really admire, really look up to, and really aspire to be like. And then there are also a lot of white people who are I'm like, damn, with needles sticking out of their arms, right, in the downtown east side of Vancouver, right? And like, shit, can't we have like a little bit, some middle ground, And there are, but just from my objective point of view, right? I guess it's a white person thing, yeah. So, same thing when it goes to luxury watches, right? Just kind of, if you're into watches, I think you should own a nice timepiece, right? If you're not, hey, that's totally fine too. It's not your thing, you don't need it, right? You can just use your phone. You get a Timex or a low end Seiko, and be happy. Save yourself a lot of money. Anyway, that's just my watch rant for the day. Thank you.